Yo, guys, what is going on? It is your boy Hollywood Steve back with another video. All right, in tonight's video, guys, we are going to recap Monday Night Raw. I did not get a chance to watch it last night, but we're gonna run down the recap. So before we do anything, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, guys. All right. Help me out, guys. Help this channel out. All right, here we go. Kicking things off. So the show opens with a recap of Bronson Reed interfering in the tag match at Saturday night's main event and him joining Seth Rollins' faction in the aftermath. The usual montage of talent arriving, then then everybody showing up. Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman make their entrance, and they get on the mic and start talking. Heyman begins putting Braun Breaker over as the man of the future, the guy who's going to main event the next dozen WrestleManias, and Bronson Reed as a man who WWE management and top tier talent here were afraid of because he's too reckless, a violent man in a PG era who's going to put everyone down in front of him. So Reed took the initiative and he targeted the franchise player and the future of the industry, Seth Rollins, in one night, put a worse beating on Seth than Roman or CM Punk could ever could. And so Paul Heyman continues to put him over as the be all end all of the WWE today and demands the crowd acknowledge him. Seth lets a long beat lay before saying this is his vision, the way forward, how they secure the future of the industry. Total control, total domination, complete power. The crowd chants out to Seth, "You sold out." But he says he hasn't changed one bit. And he told us all what he was going to do, and he did it. You Rollins, blank you Rollins chants go up in response to sense to this and in response to this, and Seth explodes on them for changing gears so fast from singing his song to slinging profanity and questioning his integrity. He says he's the only person who can handle the power here, and power here is championships. And if it wasn't for Sami Zayn and CM Punk, he would be standing here right now as your WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And he discovered the objects, and he discovered he's discovered the object that lets him control the fate of championships, and looks up at the camera and pans to show the Money in the Bank briefcase. And the camera pans to show the Money in the Bank briefcase hanging from the ceiling. He says he's going to Money in the Bank. He's going to win, and he's going to cash in whenever he wants and however he wants and on whoever he wants. And no one can stop him. That is complete domination, total power, and why he is a revolutionary and a visionary, and so on and so forth. And then, so coming back from the break, we get El Hijo del Vikingo shown in the crowd. So just for you guys that don't know, WWE has purchased AAA. So coming up June 7th on YouTube, streaming on YouTube, is going to be WWE NXT World and AAA Worlds Collide. So make sure you guys go on to YouTube to watch that. And then you got then on Peacock, you can watch Money in the Bank. So make sure you guys do that. And then we get Chad Gable versus Dragon Lee versus Penta for a Money in the Bank qualifying match. And the Luchadors team up to send Gable to the floor. Penta back body drops Lee to the apron. And a kick cuts him off. Slingshot puts put Zero into the corner. Penta into the corner, drop kick, and back in with a kick, and Chad returns. Drop kick from Dragon Lee on Gable. And a hesitation drop kick on Penta. And Gable catches him with the Northern Lights suplex, and we get a springboard caught with a springboard. Somebody tries a springboard move off the top rope. They're caught. Chad German suplexes Penta and poses for the crowd. A slingshot counter, bringing the Northern Lights suplex almost puts Dragon Lee away, drawing Penta up. Body blows for chops off the ropes. Front heel kick. Lee runs in and eats a cheeky Natos in the corner. A neckbreaker to Gable. A pile driver. Glory special combination on both guys. Penta goes for the Penta off the ropes. Tope Conguero. Sorry for the butchered Spanish there on that one, guys. Then it sends us to break, and then coming out of the commercial break, Gable starts punching away on Penta, and on the announce desk, and Dragon Lee topes Penta over the ropes. Chad gets distracted, punching Hijo del Vikingo back inside with Penta, and him and Dragon Lee trade chops. Dragon Lee's in, trade kicks with Penta. Poison Frankensteiner float over Gable with a Liger bomb, and we get a 2.5. Penta pump handle on Dragon Lee. Gable comes in and German suplexes both of them. Heads up to the top rope. Diving moonsault on Penta. Still no. Still no 3 count. Huge belly to belly suplex on Dragon Lee. Vikingo gets on the apron and clobbers him with an enziguri. Lee takes advantage. Tree of Woe, double chops. Penta hits the flip pile driver on him. He grabs Gable, and Penta wins via pinfall with a Penta driver on Chad Gable. So there you go. There is Penta is going to Money in the Bank. That is going to be beautiful, guys. Seeing Penta. Oh my goodness. All right, and then we cut to the Judgment Day Clubhouse where Carlito and Dominic Mysterio are playing. Of course, as you guys know, whenever we cut to the Judgment Day Clubhouse, they've got WWE 2K24 playing in the background. When Roxanne Perez rolls up with the tray of nuggies for Dom and a shoulder rub, right as Liv Morgan returns with a loud Conchiwa, however you say that. I'm not sure how you say that. Roxanne tries to introduce herself, but Liv shushes her and asks Mysterio what's going on before saying it's fine. Raquel Rodriguez has been keeping her informed. Some things have been very interesting, and she'll address that later. But first, she's going to Adam Pearce to get a Money in the Bank qualifier. Dom asks if it's great to have Liv back, and everyone agrees except Carlito. Tells him he's got to stop trying to eat Roxanne's nuggets. And then we see Akira Tozawa warming up, and Rusev warming up and making their way to Gorilla for their entrances. And now, poor Tozawa here, guys. I mean, Tozawa is about to get absolutely murdered here. I mean, it's gonna be. it's not going to be good for Tozawa. Let's just say that it's not going to be. It's not going to be. It's not going to be pretty for Tozawa. Let's just say that it's not going to be good for Mr. Tozawa. Not going to be good for Tozawa. So we get Rusev versus Tozawa. It's not it's a short match, guys. It's not even a long match. Tozawa tries his best for a hot start, but Rusev just runs right over him, and then it's over. He puts him in the accolade, and that's it. Tozawa submits obviously, so Rusev wins via submission. Obviously, we knew that was going to happen. And then post-match, Rusev falls back into a sleeper hold as referee Jessica Carr tries to break it, but Sheamus comes in and makes the save. And then he and the Redeemer have a stare down. A crooked smile on Rusev's face, and in the end, Rusev makes the first move, turning and leaving without taking his eyes off of the Celtic Warrior. Ooh. Yeah. Give me that match, please. And then we get Tom Segura and Brett Kreischer being interviewed backstage. Apparently, they had Cody Rhodes on their podcast, and now they're here to have a great time. Kreischer plugs his Netflix show and runs off to do something on the or other, while Segura plugs his own until we hear Brett hollering. The camera goes over and Kreischer has his shirt off next to the War Raiders, hollering about how they look like cousins. There's some glad handing, and the War Raiders leave with Kreischer just a terrible, uncomfortable looking shade of red. Oh my goodness. So that little segment happened backstage. And then coming back from commercial break, Sami Zayn cuts a promo. He says he can't stand hearing Seth Rollins talk and should have been out there to do something. Jey Uso appears and asks him for what, to run in on a into 1-on-3 odds. No, they have to be smart. If Sami wants to take the power, he needs the Money in the Bank briefcase. Uso says he has his back. Zayn accepts, and they do their secret handshake. Then we get the Creed brothers, Brutus and Julius versus New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods versus the War Raiders, Eric and Ivar for the WWE Tag Team Championships. They brawl before the bell. The War Raiders are in control, clearing the ring, and then Eric slams Ivar off the apron and into the crush on the floor, throwing Kingston back inside. We get a bell. Eric's on the floor. Creeds and the New Day are working together to throw him into the barricade, saying everybody gets a turn. They all stand tall in the ring together, and then we get a commercial break. And then coming out of the commercial break, Ivar tags in. War Raiders making up for getting overwhelmed. Big crossbody from Warbeard, from Ivar. Handspring double back elbow. Reverse roundhouse on Woods. He wakes Eric up. Wrist lock. Julius tags in, and Kofi and Brutus send Eric to the floor. Brutus. We get a Brutus ball off the top. Kofi dives onto Ivar. Both get caught and rammed into the LED board. New Day think fast though, of course. And New Day wins by pinfall with a roll up from Xavier Woods. And there we go. The Kofi and Xavier, the New Day, retain their tag team championships with the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, the roll up. Yay! I so hate that move. Anyway, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are walking together when they run into Io Sky and Kairi Sane. Of course, Liv mocks them, saying, if it's a damage control reunion, but Sky tells her to keep walking. Liv says she's going to keep walking right into Adam Pearce's office and get herself a qualifying match so she can do what Kairi can't and win Money in the Bank. Sane gets in her face and challenges her to a match, and Morgan accepts. So we get main event Jey Uso making his entrance. So we get coming back from commercial, we get main event Jey Uso. He gets on the mic and starts talking about. He says how it's been a busy week for the champ, and Logan Paul got yeeted, and John Cena's about to get yeeted because at Money in the Bank. And then we enter Gunther. He gets on the mic and says he came out here first of all to congratulate Jey Uso, and this one comes from a very special place. He congratulates him. Let's try that again. First, he congratulates him on 15 years of the Usos in WWE. Secondly, congratulations on his first successful title defense, and he's right there whenever his friends need help. And that's great. That's a great quality for a human being, but a terrible quality for a champion. But he doesn't blame Jey. He doesn't know better, and being a champion doesn't come naturally to him. He was able to be champion for almost a year because he is the only person he cares about. And if he's fully honest, he doesn't think Uso has the intellect to carry himself as a great champion. In 2 weeks, when they step into the ring one more time, he's going to relieve him of his position and make things right, choke him out, and take the title back where it belongs, around his waist. Uso asks if he's done, because he's done with everybody saying his days as champ are numbered. He's done with everything, or with everybody, using the title as an excuse to turn their back on him, to turn their back on people that brought him up, that brought them up. He's a real one. He's got friends and family, and they fight for him, and he for them. Gunther wants to run his mouth on his life and judge him. Go ahead. Because when all is said and done, in 2 weeks, he's retaining the title. And then we get a commentary hype for Cody's new podcast, and then we get a little clip of it, and then we get Liv Morgan making her entrance, and then we go to break after that, and coming out of the commercial break, we get a shot of the crowd and celebrities in the crowd. We get Titus O'Neil, and that's pretty cool. Titus O'Neil and some other celebrities in the crowd. And Morgan's in control early, with a little bit of hair pulling. She kicks some kicks in the corner, a little back and forth, and Sane, and she puts Sane up top, nobody home, rolls through, drop down, slingshot, Tajiri, I guess that's how you say that. I apologize if I butchered that. Guys. Sends Liv into the ropes. We get some action on the floor. Morgan takes control, and we go to another break. And coming out of the break, the Amigos three Amigos. Sane is blocked by Sane. She hits a spear to follow it up. Kairi hits a blockbuster cross-leg Boston Crab, wrenching way back to but Liv grabs a handful of hair to force the break. Kairi changes it into double boots to put her down diving code breaker, and Sane kicks out. Sane hits a rising knee. Kairi ducks, cover for 2. Roxanne Perez is here and runs interference. She and Raquel Rodriguez Rodriguez looks like a biker, and Kairi take advantage, and Kairi takes advantage of the distraction and counters Oblivion, and Kairi Sane wins via pinfall with the over-rotated schoolboy pin, and Kairi Sane is going to Money in the Bank. All right, so that's so far Monday Night Raw, guys. And then we get a Rhea Ripley video promo where she says she hasn't been feeling very on top lately, but she's going to change that by winning Money in the Bank. Then we get Lyra Valkyria walking backstage, which sends us to another break. And then coming back from break, Liv Morgan is furious in the Judgment Day clubhouse, and Raquel Rodriguez tries to blame Roxanne Perez, but Liv tells her she's the veteran and she should have done better. Lyra Valkyria makes her entrance and gets on the mic. She says she wishes she was here to tell us about a new contender to her title, but Becky Lynch did what she does, and once again she talked herself into a rematch at Money in the Bank. She has nothing left to prove after beating her twice, and every opponent she's ever had, she doesn't care whether they said what they said or did. Once she beats them, she's the ultimate winner. But she didn't feel any satisfaction beating Becky at Backlash because her ego is still through the roof. No embarrassment or sense of shame at being beaten. And she sat on the turnbuckles and talked like she won the match. Like a rat with a piece of cheese. Now it's personal. At Money in the Bank, she's going to break Becky Lynch's ego, even if she has to smash her head into it. And then we get Becky Lynch. Becky says she's done with Lyra and she's on to bigger and better things. And sure, she won the match, but she won the fight. And Becky went home with her hot husband, while Lyra went to the hospital with her weird fiance. Valkyria says Seth is the most talented thing about her. Lynch fires back that she's getting Lyra spoken about, but Valkyria points out that they're talking because she beat her. Becky offers up the notion that if she loses, she'll never challenge for the title again. But if she wins, Lyra has to raise her hand in victory. Valkyria says she's never had a problem raising somebody's hand after she beats her. It's just that it's never been Lynch yet. And then we get a stare down, and that's the end of that. And then Sami Zayn runs into Karrion Kross backstage. Of course, I love Karrion Kross, guys. I love this guy. He is so awesome. Kross plays his little mind games. Sami says he has no time for him. Kross tells him he's never gonna win the title, and Zayn goes back and gets in his face and tell him he'll deal with him later. We get a quick hype video for El Hijo del Vikingo, as well as Pango, Psycho Clown, and El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. to promoting Worlds Collide and commentary, and obviously Michael Cole and Pat McAfee are hyping that up. And then we get Seth Rollins making his entrance, and then coming out of break, Zayn attacks Rollins and gets out the gates, right out of the gate, sending him to the floor. Balor peels Sammy away, chops in the ropes, whips across, ducks a lariat, suicide dive, takes Seth out, up the aisle. Finn rushes in and attacks, pulling Zayn back down to the ring, working him over. Seth comes back in. Rollins comes back in. Balor hits a double DDT on them both, and then we go to another break. And then coming out of the commercial break, Zayn gets them set up and whips both of them out with an Arabian press, Asai moonsault, and points to the sky in memory of Sabu. Oh, that's awesome. Throwing Seth back inside, Sammy hits a blue thunder. Tries to hit a blue thunder bomb. It's blocked and is reversed into a Falcon Arrow. And then we get so close. And chops in the corner. Rollins wants a pedigree, but Finn catches him with a sling blade. We get a shotgun dropkick by Finn that sends and he sets Sammy up. Balor goes up top, but Zayn gets to his feet and cuts him off. Sammy hits a suplex. Rollins hits a frog splash on him, and all three men are down and out. And then we go to another break, and then coming out of the break, action is fast and furious, and both of them end up down and out. Rollins wants a pedigree. Balor counters, wrist lock, roll through, underhooks, and this time the pedigree hits, but Sami Zayn peels Seth off for the roll up for two. Pedigree on Sammy, no deal. Blackout, no deal. Blue Thunder Bomb blocked on the first try, but Sammy hits it on the second. So close. Sammy lines up for the Helluva kick. Finn intercepts, shotgun drop kick on both of them. Coup de grace, nobody home. Blackout, Helluva kick. Braun Breaker pulls Zayn off for the pin. Off of the pin. He and Bronson Reed put boots to Sammy, and Jey Uso makes the save. Dominic Mysterio introduces a chair to try to help Balor, and Seth capitalizes on it instead. Seth Rollins is going to Money in the Bank. And then post-match, oh yes, Cult of Personality hits, and Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker go up the aisle, but CM Punk comes through the crowd and hits the go to sleep on Seth. Punk beats a hastily retreat out through the crowd, and that was Monday Night Raw, guys. So not too exciting. Nothing absolutely insanely crazy. Nothing absolutely insanely crazy, but Monday Night Raw has been kind of lately, if you ask me. I mean, it's been okay. It's not been great. So anyway, guys, that is Monday Night Raw. I know it's not really my review. I didn't watch it, so that's why we're doing the review here from Cage Side Seats. So I really apologize if that was. I truly apologize if that was kind of all over the place. But Friday night, guys, or tonight, I'll watch NXT, and tomorrow we'll have an NXT review, and I promise you it'll be a lot better, guys. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you guys in the next one. And remember, when you're Hollywood Steve, you're just too sweet.